Good morning. Welcome to our talk, how to build a team for a startup. And it's good to see you here. And for those of you who are on the Zoom link, I would be pleased to know that you are there. Okay. After the session ended, there'll be a time for Q&A. So you should always you could always send questions via the chat. And I will try to answer them. And for those who are here with me, it's good to have you, real person sitting over here, and we can interact more, of course. But because of the COVID-19, it's difficult to interact, so we'll try. Okay. So today my talk is how to build a team for a startup. And to build a team for a startup is key in a startup. Why is it key? Many teams fail because they cannot build a team. Okay? Many teams fail. Many startups fail because they could not build their team. And if they manage to build their team, many teams break down because of certain reasons. You can't keep them together, can't get them to work together. So that also created problems for startup. So what I try to do today is to at least give you a taste of what it means to build a team. And we'll look into several aspects of it and to help you. And because some of you are starting in a startup, it means you may lack the experience. So I try to give you something that will be helpful for you, like a checklist where you walk through it and then you will know what to do. I'm not so fortunate as you guys. When I started to help to build a company in Malaysia 10 years ago, my superior just sent me there. And I have to start recruiting and looking for a place where to put the office and so on, all by myself. And I was really thrown into the deep end in that sense. But you guys are more fortunate. At least you have things like this talk here for you to at least not go with nothing. Okay, something in your mind to work on. So let's start. So a bit about myself, just to let you know my background. I have over 30 years of experience in private equity and VC. And what I mean by that, private equity, VC, is that VC is earlier stages, and a lot of risks are unknown, not unknown, a lot of risks. Example, the business model is not firm, and the business is still not very solid, so things like that. And I can give you an example. When Amazon or JD.com, when it went public 10 years ago, was it a VC deal or private equity deal when it go IPO? Actually, it's a VC deal because the business model was not firm. Okay, it was not established yet. They're still losing money, and because of that, many of the private equity guys cannot invest. Okay, only the VCs invest. So you want some information about VC, PE, look up my team. We can always tell you and teach you a bit about it. Okay, so I work in the private equity and venture capital business since 1994. Maybe you were not born for some of you. And I work for big corporations like Standard Chartered Bank, their private equity, and even Singapore Technology, Vertex. We make investment in Silicon Valley. So I'm currently the head of venture acceleration team, CUHK, and head of Buy Center, and I sit on the field addition panel as well. Seems that The control is not there. Okay, when we want to build a team, first you must know where you are. Okay, the milestone for the product or services, because you will be a product company or service company. So where are you? At what point are you at? And from here, where you want to go. So these things you must know by now. Okay, if you don't know, then better talk to someone to help you. Okay. So where are we going, right? Okay, you want to build from a concept, you want to build a prototype or prove the concept, and then get the concept done by having a prototype. So this is done in a systematic way. You have to prove that this concept works. Then you think about how to make it into some, breadboard hardware design that will help you to prove that the concept works in terms of some hardware. And then after that, you need to come out with a prototype to prove to people that it can be done in this way. So for services, you need to have, it is a software, so you need to show that the people working with you, users working with you, and it works. Okay? So all this must be clear in your mind with the team. Okay, if you have a team, must be clear to the team. With yourself, if you are the lead or founder, you must be also sure about that. Okay, now you know where you want to go. Who are the people that will meet the needs of yours, or who can do what you want them to do? And this is important as well. The scope and role or responsibility. Now, of course, you say, how detailed? I'm not very sure. Okay, I know only Java code. Okay, this guy must be able to write Java code. Okay, fine. You can always, as a startup guy, you must always do your research. If you don't know well enough, talk to people. Open your mouth and start asking people. Don't be shy. Okay? You are young. If I go and ask, look at my white hair, they will say, how come you don't know? Sorry, I'm from Singapore. Sometimes I use Singapore accent. So if I go and ask, you will say, hey, you are so old, how come you don't know? You are young, so people cannot say, why you don't know? So you will just ask and continue to ask until you get all the information. But nowadays, you can always go to the web and check, right? But a lot of information is web. So go to the web, look for it, you can't find, ask people who knows all these things, and get to the bottom of it. So the role and responsibility, you must list it out. And the more detailed, the better. But of course, not all the time you can do it. So what kind of experience do you want? Okay? If you want a Java programmer, what kind of experience you want this person to have? Has he done any project using Java or write any programs using Java? Or if you want him to do a timer controller hardware, okay? Has he done anything similar in digital form? Okay, digital circuit. Has he designed any digital circuit? If he hasn't, at least he has copied some digital circuit and put it into breadboard components to show that it works. Next, the experience to help you to make sure that you can execute what you want him to do. Then is he committed? This one also many problems among students. Okay, this term I'm very free. Okay, I say I'll be committed. Next term suddenly cannot. I still haven't finished it. Oh, sorry, I can't help you. I have to do other things. My coursework is a lot. I won't be able to do it. So how make sure this guy is committed, whether his coursework is heavy or not. So it all depends on you to check him out, talk to him. Okay? So these are the things that you have to know in advance. So when he wants to join, or he or she wants to join, Is he really committed with one mind and one heart? What I mean by that is, does he buy the idea? My startup could be doing very well. Join me. Doesn't believe it, don't let him get on board, because he will hinder you. He or she will hinder you. So make sure he buy your idea or vision. So this is key. Okay? Even in big companies, there is a mission, there is a vision as well. A mission and vision for the company is essential, whether big or small company. When I go to Huawei, when I was with Huawei, helping them to buy companies in the US and so on, the vision of the boss, is very clear. He will send it through speeches, articles, and when he meet people like us, he will talk about it. So everybody along the line is very clear about what the company is going to do, what the company wants to do. So make sure your idea and vision is very clear to every member of the team. Okay, now you got this guy. How do you evaluate this candidate is a suitable candidate? This skill, the number, this skill here, evaluation skill. Continue, you won't be perfect, okay? Even at my age, I'm still learning how to evaluate people properly, because human beings are very complex, okay? Very complex. If you think you know humans, you're wrong. Most likely you don't know, okay? Human beings are very complex, so the evaluation skill is something you continue to build over the years. Even when you get to become very senior, you are still learning how to evaluate people. So bear that in mind. So don't be shy when you make mistakes, okay, in evaluating people. So this is something to bear in mind. Okay, if you want the guy to join you, be very clear, short term or long term. What I mean by that? If you want short term, you know very clearly, after this project, bye-bye. So you know what to compensate. So that's why you must be clear whether this project is short term or become a long term. That means you grow with the company. Because certain people are only suitable for short term. Right? Let me give you an example. If I build a platform, the platform only do certain things. Okay? Once I build the platform, only minimum maintenance work is done. So I don't need that person to be the CTO, because this company is not focused on technology. This company is focused on trading, okay, e-commerce. So technology is secondary. Getting customers on board is primary, very important. So the guy that you want for technology part may be only short term. You can replace him or get people who are more suitable later on. So this is something that you have to be clear, short term or long term, because it will come with the compensation, all right? And compensation and retaining him or her. Okay, since you are all students, let's be more scientific, okay? I give you a process for getting the right team member. Why you need that? Because you are new, okay? You just walk through it. It will help you to think, the thinking pattern. For us, old folks here, we have been doing it for many years, so it just comes naturally. So for beginners, use the process, it helps. So needs, first understand your needs. Then you define the position. Is it a senior position or junior position? Selection of appropriate people. Communication of visions, roles, and processes. Everybody in the team must know, okay? You must communicate that to the team members. You are not a star, okay? Lone Ranger. Even Lone Ranger has somebody, okay? His boss, you work, okay? Arjun has somebody else, okay? And Robinson Crusoe also has Man Friday. These are old stories. You don't know. But anyway, it's not one person. So the details are here. Example, does this position complement my skills as an entrepreneur? This is key. Don't look for people that are the same as you. That means if I know programming, Java programming, I'm going to look for another Java programmer. You don't need. You need somebody else to complement you. A good example is the football team. Okay? For those who play football, you know what I mean. If you are forward, you need to have people, defenders at the back. So you build the team, like maybe Ronaldo, he's a very good player, or Messi. He's a good forward, but he's bad at defending. So you need to have people who help him to defend, right? So you build the team around the CEO, okay? The CEO must know what is lacking in him, and he get people who can complement him and help him. Here, there's one very important thing. Most of the startup people fail because they dare not hire somebody or get somebody smarter than them. Most of them fail because they cannot get somebody smarter or better than them. Okay? I'm not kidding you. Even now, I see some startups, the same problem happens. They dare not hire somebody or even recruit somebody smarter than them or more experienced than them. You know what I try to say to you guys if you are the CEO? What the heck, you are the CEO. What's the problem with hiring somebody smarter than you? He still have to work for you, right? So what's the problem? You understand what I'm saying? You are the CEO. You are the founder. Getting a smarter guy, more experienced guy. Wow, that's my dream. I always want to have somebody smarter than me. Okay? And better than me. That's why the saying says, if I sit on somebody's shoulders, I can see further. You get a dog, sit on the dog, how far can you see? Okay? So bear that in mind. Don't be afraid to hire someone smarter, better than you. So this is a kind of a process that I'd like you to look at to help you. I will not go into details, maybe you'll be bored by it. So important thing that I want to highlight here is the interpersonal relationship. Okay, interpersonal relationship. How you get them to work with one another as the CEO or founder is very important. Okay? Okay, this I will not talk too much about it. Okay, now how you say, I need to look for people. Where to look for people? Events for startup like this. Okay, this is one event. There are many events in Science Park, in Cyberport. Join those events. Why? There are people who are interested to join startup. They are like you to join. To get to know others. Who knows? You might find a better programmer there. Who knows? You might find a better business development guy there. Next, your family and friends. Family and friends are very important. Okay? They can help you a lot. Don't neglect them. Family and friends. Your primary school classmates, your secondary school classmates, your people in your society or whatever, your halls or residents and so on. Interest group club. I remember in Chinese university here, we have a supercomputing club where all the students from undergraduate to postgrad, they have an interest in supercomputing and they join this club to learn from one another. And that's where we got many good programmers. Okay. Okay, now you got your team. You located them, you hire them. How to keep the team? Keeping the team is Not that easy. Okay? To you, it seems easy. But when you walk along the way as you build your company, you will realize it's not that easy. Okay? And don't ever make the mistake of 5 founders, 20%, 20%, 20%. That's the most risky shareholding structure. Anybody know why? 5 founders, 20%, 20%, 20%. Yes? Because no one can make the decision. Correct? Anyone? Wow. And some people leave. Okay? Okay, some people leave. There are ways of overcoming that. Same. Too distributed. Power not in the hands of one. Good and bad. Democracy doesn't work. Okay? Sorry, I'm not. Okay. But I just tell you, democracy doesn't work. Because somebody has to build and make decisions. Sometimes decisions are not black and white. Gray. When you have to make decisions in a gray area, somebody has to take responsibility. And that person must have the final authority to say, yes, we do it. Okay? Life is not so plain as black and white all the time. And many times, a lot of decisions, because of the lack of information or understanding, you have to make a guess and say, okay, let's do it. Right? If life is black and white, many things are very easy, but it's not. So, when you invite people to be co-founders, you have to give stock options to them. How to manage the founder relationship and team relationship is important. Okay? Giving this stock option is not easy. Why he 20%? Why he 30%? Why he 10%? Think carefully. A few things to bear in mind. At this point in time, this person's contribution is like this. Later on, the contribution might drop. So you give stock option, must think about now and future. And then also think about what happens, like our friend there who says, when you leave, what are you going to do with the stocks? So you have to think all this in advance and agree among yourself. There is this mechanism that will take care of keeping them. If you go, what will happen? How will you take care of it? There must be a mechanism. Because if not, assuming, I give you an example, if you didn't take care of it, 5% in the team, even though 4 of them, 10% only, and the CEO 60%, still a problem if they leave. If I leave with 10%, the team is still struggling because it's a startup, right? Many times without money, not enough money, customer not coming on board, a lot of headaches, things don't work as well. Today go out, tomorrow return back. Then everybody sometimes discouraged, right? And then when this 1% left, we still have 10%. The 4% remaining struggling. And then they see their friend outside enjoying. What's in their heart? Well, I worked so hard for him. He still have 10%. His 10%, I am struggling for his 10% to make sure his 10% is still okay. Will they be pleased with him? They won't be happy with him. Okay? So it affects the morale. So you have to think about all these things. Many things in life, you know what will happen later on, so you plan for it now. Okay? It may happen that way, somebody will leave. So you have to plan for it. So keeping the team, you must have consensus. Okay, especially the founding team. You see, I make a distinction between founding team and then the later people. Okay? Founders, founding team, and then the rest. See what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? manage the expectations of each other, and reach a mutually agreeable consensus. Okay, consensus means agreeable among yourself. That is key for the founding team and the founders. Okay, because you need every one of them. When I went to Huawei, I realized why this company is doing so well. One of the reasons is this: they work as a team. You know that you may have heard of this 狼的文化, 狼的文化. Wolves only hunt in packs. They don't hunt alone usually. So when you work together as a team, you are more powerful. I always remember this example when my colleagues in Huawei discuss with me. 3 engineers in Cisco, very experienced. They work very hard. They are ahead of the 10 engineers in Huawei because they are young. You know what's the average age in Huawei? In my time, I walk into my department the first day. I'm the only guy with white hair. The rest are all 25, 26 years old. So they look at me and stare at me because I'm the oldest guy there. Do you understand that? But they work together very hard. The whole group of them, whenever I go and buy a company, I assemble a team of, actually I want only 5. My boss gives me 20. Why? He wants me to train all the rest. So with 20 people, I have to manage 20 people. And these 20 people know how to work together. They work very hard. They don't know the things. Usually I give them homework to be done at night. So before I leave at 6 o'clock, I always leave at 6 o'clock. I tell them, tomorrow I want to do the evaluation of this company. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. That very night, they stay back. They work on it. They learn from the internet how to value. And then next morning, 9 o'clock, they present to me. I only sit there and listen. It took a whole night. I can do it in half an hour. See the difference? But they do it a few times, they become better and better. Then they will beat me. You understand? So 3 engineers in Cisco will lose out within 3 to 4 years. And the 20 Huawei or 10 Huawei engineers will be equal to them after 3 to 4 years. Got it? So it's very important for you to work as a team. And that comes from how you manage it. So after I talk a bit about management and which is key. So to keep the team, you need to have certain agreement. Why you need this agreement? You want to formalize it. Don't because of friend. Okay, he's my friend. Don't ever do that. When you make money, then you see that friends will not be friends. Okay? Especially when money is involved. So formalize the relationship. Clarify the shareholding distribution, duties and responsibilities. And that is very important. Okay, you must clarify. This is your duty. You have to get 20 customers. If not, we cannot prove that our products can work with the customer, or the customers will accept the product. So you are to bring in these 10 customers. So duties and responsibilities must be very clear. Okay, then you say, startup, a lot of things we not very sure. Correct. Those you know, put it down. Those you don't know, use the team culture. Okay? You understand what I mean by team culture? That means everybody must have the kind of sense that this is my company. And if this is not done, it will affect the whole company. So I put my hands to solve it or do it, even though it's not under my responsibility. So that kind of culture, you have to build it up. Okay? A sense that the company belongs to everyone, not only the CEO, even though the CEO has the highest share. You got what I mean? That's very important because there are many areas of responsibility the startup might miss out because lack of experience or don't understand the scope. This is natural, nothing wrong with that because you're young, inexperienced. So bear that in mind. Mistakes can be made. Learn to forgive and move on. Okay? Put in your hands, help, that kind of culture. So if you can clarify the shareholding, which is very important, shareholding, money, very important. Okay? Then you at least the main duties and responsibility clear up, then most likely you have less problems. Okay? Remember, one of the big failure of startup is the team breakdown. Okay? They all become enemies. I'm not kidding you. It can happen. Okay, how to maintain this founder relationship? That means just now I talked about the team, right? Founding team. Now I talk about the founders. Maybe you got 3 founders, 4 founders, or 2 founders. How to maintain this relationship? Also have a founder agreement. There are things to consider before drafting the founder agreement. The duties and responsibilities of the co-founders. Okay? Bear that in mind. What you're supposed to do, what he is supposed to do. The commitment and contribution. Some founders, part-time only. Good. If you really believe in this startup, make it full-time. Okay, part-time maybe for a very short period. Who is responsible for looking for investment? Clear, very clear. Who is responsible? Then the kind of contribution in terms of technology or network, business network, investors network, and so on. So this must be very clear who is responsible, especially getting investment. Getting investment is not so easy. Okay? Don't think that you can give a elevator pitch and people throw money at you. Not likely. Okay? Maybe rare. Sometimes it's a show. Okay? I know there is one guy in China where elevators pitch, he will just say, okay, I invest in you. That guy is doing less of that now. Okay? Because he will run out of money also. So don't think it's so easy. Getting investors to invest is not easy. Well, if you join SciSmart, I hope they help you. Okay? Most likely they will help you. So the founders expected returns. If I invest in this, that's my time, energy, effort in this startup. What do I hope to get back in return? You must share with one another, okay? So that both of you, or 3 of you, or 5 of you are very clear. I want to do this startup because I believe this technology is very good. I want to make it into a good company, great company, and then we become filthy rich. Okay, fine, nothing wrong with that, okay? Just be honest and say what you want, and what's inside your heart. That will help the co-founders to understand one another better. The CEO. The CEO must have majority shares. Why? He is responsible for fundraising. If the company fails, no money, bye-bye, no shop. So the CEO must be responsible for fundraising. So he must have the highest share. Not only that, he must provide leadership and management. Leadership to build the team, to lead the team, and then his management skills. Okay? Okay, I'm not a good manager. Get a good co-founder who is good at management. Okay? Got it? Build the people or team around you That is key. Now, example, the co-founders want to leave, right? Just now we talked about that. How to deal with it is important. Also, to deal with the shares and not to do another startup that is similar. After he learned from this startup, he go and open another startup. Happens a lot in China. And of course, I've seen it in startup. Even in Science Park, there was one company who did that. So don't ever let this happen. Okay? You must sign an agreement. If I leave for whatever reasons, I cannot start a similar startup. Okay? Or join my competitor. So that must be in the agreement. And buy back the shares of the living co-founder. Okay? Buy back the shares. There must be a way to calculate how much is it worth. Must be agreed when you sign. Okay? So that is important. If you have problems with this, get a lawyer. If you have no money to get a lawyer, then if you are from Chinese university, look for me. Okay? Other universities, sorry, look for them. Look for your other people. The confidentiality terms is very important. Okay? Don't let him learn the things here and then apply it somewhere. So there must be a mechanism to resolve disputes. That means for dispute, how to resolve it. Okay, now founders, co-founders, the team. How to keep the team. Leadership is very important. Okay? All the CEOs, whether you are a good leader or not a good leader, doesn't matter. Learn. Okay? Keep on learning. The key is keep on learning. You will never stop learning. If you want to build a good team, good company, leadership is key. Don't be lazy. Keep on learning. So this leadership thing, you know what is a leader? A leader leads. So a leader must be able to see what is ahead. So I give you an example. Even for me, I'm helping biotech companies, especially drug discovery companies. I have a physics degree. I know nothing about drug discovery. So what do? I keep reading. I keep reading so that I know. So I'm going to help. I know how to help. Got it? So keep reading. If you have no experience, read. Nowadays, so many important information on the web. So go and read. Leadership, next, management. How you manage them? You want to keep a good team, how are you going to manage them? Learn how to delegate, learn how to see their role, learn how to see their responsibility, whether they are executing properly, help them. If they can't do it, get their help, get others to help, because you are a team. So teamwork very important. We'll talk a bit more about that because one of the essentials of teamwork is culture. So you must communicate and build the right culture. Right? Communication very important. A lot of times we take it for granted. 2-person team, no problem, right? 3-person team, no problem. 5, starting to have problem because people don't talk. So what to do? Talk more. But don't waste time. Okay? Talk more. Build the right culture. Okay, what I mean by build the right culture, just now I mentioned a bit about it. I say, in startup, a lot of roles and responsibility, not 100% sure, right? You are learning. So the culture must be such that everyone, when they see gaps, they build it up themselves. Okay? Because the CEO cannot be everywhere every time. So everybody has this responsibility to act on something, even if nobody is assigned the job. Okay? So that is the right culture. And we can talk a bit more about it. So to maintain a good co-founder relationship, you have to prevent bad conflict and handle good conflict. Okay? Many times we work together, we have conflicts. Example, send this thing out now. My customer wants it. I don't have time. So argue, right? Argue already. So how? How to resolve this? You must learn how to resolve it in a peaceful way. Good conflicts are, example, you could have done better if you do this, do that, and then you argue over it. Good because people want to ensure professionalism and do it well. So you learn how to handle this, help to resolve this. Bad conflicts are, I don't like his face. He always talk rudely to me. It's bad. It becomes personal already. Okay? It becomes personal. Learn to resolve this. Get rid of this kind of conflict. Learn to look at the problem. Handle the problem. Solve the problem, not at people. That's why sometimes it's good. After a few years, everything forgotten. That's why I say forgive and forget. Very important. After a few years, everything forgotten. To have good relationship, always forget all the bad things. Only remember the good things. Okay? So take care of this. To have the right culture, you need to get rid of all these conflicts. See, bad conflicts, you break down in good discussion. Very emotional. So learn to take care of that. Then blame and shame one another and calling names. Challenging one another and threatening one another. That's very bad. Then force the rest to take sides. No good, not productive. Good conflicts is miscommunication. Don't understand one another well. So learn to take care of that. Maybe workflow. Understand the workflow better. I don't know when you first started bringing a new guy, make sure this new guy understands the whole process of the company. Okay? Don't just tell him what he's supposed to do. He has to understand the whole process. Don't let people feel excluded. Okay? Don't let people feel excluded. Because people are very unique. I might be an extrovert. This guy is an introvert. So help them to gather together. So as a CEO, you must understand all this and show your leadership by doing these things. Okay? Don't look at the problem and focus on the problem. Always have a big picture. Always be very clear what you want the company to do. Building the culture is very important. Okay? What kind of culture you want in the company is key to how great the company is going to be. Remember, sometimes you all disagree with one another. That's natural, okay? And take it with the right attitude, okay? We are different. The way we look at things and the way we solve problems, very different. So learn to accept one another, okay? Okay. Don't let any conflict become personal attacks, okay? The CEO must see this. If needs calling that person stupid, stop it. Don't do that. So manage emotions and encourage communication. Okay? Manage emotions and encourage communication. That is very important in building the team. So that will help you to build the right culture. Okay, how to retain the team? Compensation. One second. How to make sure they have enough money? Compensation. But startups don't have money, right? So always remind them, what is your story? What is your vision? let people remember. Only for a short while, we will make it. So we are walking this way. Now we don't have much money, but it will come. So another thing is salary. But you don't have enough money, so you have to give shares. Okay? So the two must come together. Whether you have future prospect, can we make a living out of this startup? Yes, I'm doing programming. I will become a good programmer. Even if my startup fails, I can go to another company. Salaries for programmers are very high now. Okay? So part of the learning process, the job prospects are good. So let them know, okay? After compensation, work environment. What kind of work environment? If you come to Hong Kong, the Science Park, good environment, right? W19 in Science Park. Downstairs, a lot of sofa, very comfortable. I also like the Science Park. So good work environment, very important. It must be fun, enjoyable. Okay? If everybody drags going to work, people won't be productive. I remember when I first started as a school teacher in Singapore, I see my colleagues struggling to go to work. I said, wow, for 20, 30 years, I'm going to be like that. I better don't be a teacher. Okay? So very important. Fun must be enjoyable. Then build the relationship between the team members, whether there's friendship and team spirit. So these are the things that will keep your team. Do they have a team spirit? Do they have good relationship with one another? Do they go to one another place for coffee or tea, or sometimes buy some snacks and then all sit and enjoy? Okay, this is important. Okay, now you build a team, get the people, retain them. What are the challenges in building the team? Such difficulty. Where do I look for people? It's very challenging. So don't give up. Continue to go for meetings, ask people, hey, I'm looking for this kind of people. Do you know who? Would you like to recommend some to me? Even in Science Park now, sometimes I meet some CEOs, especially they are from Singapore. They will ask me, Jonathan, do you know any students who are interested in working in startup? I will try to recommend. Okay, so always continue the search and be proactive. That means if I know I'm going to need a programmer 6 months later, I start looking now. Okay. The other challenges we always have is, do you dare to hire somebody more experienced, smarter, and more capable than you? That is very key. If you are the bottleneck, that means you are the smartest person in the office. Sorry, your team is the weakest. Okay? So always get people smarter, more experienced to join you. And once you get all these people, the challenge is how to integrate them to work as a team. And this is also key. And this one depends a lot on the personal skills, okay? As the CEO, as the founders of the company. So work together to build the right culture and help them to work together in a team. Big companies will organize all kinds of activities to promote that. But actually, I think it's a waste of money. What you need to do is look carefully, understand all these things, and work with one another, build the culture, encourage people to work together. Okay? So motivating team members, very important as a CEO. When there are good news, learn to talk about it. Keep on praising people who contribute well. Of course, you must do it in a way that is appropriate for the whole team. And then, if people make mistakes, dare to talk about it. Okay? Don't blame. Just what did we learn out of this? Then let them talk about it, what they learned. In Huawei, we always have this 经验培训, experience learning, teaching. After I do a project, that means I buy a company, I have to come back and then explain to the whole department what I learned, what are the challenges, how we solve it, what we should have done better. And we are not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. I just talk about it. This is what I learned personally. And you won't get merit points for that. You get merit points because you learn something. Okay? So what kind of culture you want? A culture like that where people learn from experience, learn from every time they do something, they learn something and they share. So helps you. Okay? I learned it when I was in Huawei. When I see, wow, we learn a lot from one another. I cannot tell you where. I go to one place. I don't even know what they learn because the management is lousy. They don't even know how to put us together. Okay? So I hope you don't make that mistake. Okay. Thank you for listening. And if there's any question here, I will answer. If there's only any on the web, on the Zoom, no, I can talk to you. Okay, anybody any question? Yes? Louder, please.
Julie, am I? I have the question is, you said is to hire someone smarter than you, and how can you like to control this employee and making them those down low you maybe boss maybe think something they can do you cannot do, and how do you control that or control that mindset?
Okay. Thank you for asking. I hire somebody smarter than me, more capable than me, more experienced than me. So how to work with him, no control. How to work with him, right? What do you all think? Before I answer that question, I just ask you, are you the CEO? Yes, right? Do you own majority shares? Yes. Who control the salary? You, right? You control his salary, right? 唔聽話，炒佢咯，係咪？ Right? So what are you afraid?
So that means it's just a typical method of buying a person. So that's not 啲好難嘅嘢俾佢，跟住咧就令到佢喺團裏面直不手，跟住咧就炒開自己手咗佢。
Okay, wait. Before you do that, let me remind you. You must respect the other person. Okay? You know, I work with many startups. In China, they call me 老师 because I'm not the CEO, I'm not the boss, I'm not the anybody inside. I'm just a mentor. They have 老师. Respect. You must respect the guy. If you make a mistake or something that don't align with you, don't in front of everybody tell him. Do it quietly. Get him into your room. I'm sure CEO has a tiny room, right? Talk to him. Anything you want to do, he wants to do, discuss with you first. Can you do that? Discuss with you first. If you don't agree, tell him I don't agree to do this. Why? Respect. I have my opinion, you have your opinion. I don't think I want to do that. Then explain why. Then let him convince you. If he can't convince you, then go your way. Okay? Learn to work with people like that. Learn to respect one another. But don't point out problems in front of everybody. Do it one-to-one. One-to-one. Okay? One-to-one, huh? No private, no public. Okay? And I'm sure they also got EQ. Okay? They will know what to do. Don't assume people don't have EQ. Huh? Okay? I hope I answered your question. Tap on his ability, tap on his experience. Talk to him. Learn from him. Then go public. You understand what I'm saying? Don't in front of everybody, how to do this. Then, am I? So learn from him before you go public. That means before you talk to everybody, pull him aside. Can we discuss this later? Okay, bring him aside. Okay? And there's one thing you must remember. You are the CEO, you also have a board of directors, right? I can't make the decision now. I need to consult my board. Good excuse, right? Am I right? But if you are the only guy, then you cornered already. How come you cannot answer? You are the biggest boss. Even I know people where they own 90%, they always say, I need to talk to my board of directors. Why? Because you don't want to make a decision. Want to escape it first and think through. So you must learn. Okay? This is not a matter of face. This is how you answer people. They force you to make a decision, you say, oh, sorry. I want to give you my answer, but I need to consult my board. Of domain. Go for negotiation, always use this tactic. Okay? The VC said, 10 million valuation. I want to accept. Let me talk to my board first. But actually, you want to think through. Okay? Got it? Any more questions?
Thank you for. Anyway, yeah, I would like to ask, as you mentioned that if a CEO cannot do management or they cannot manage the team well, they should go find another co-founder who's good at management or in terms of hiring or team management, something like that. How important do you think this is? So like, is it worth it to have a co-founder with like, 40% share or 30% share that only do management?
It all depends on what kind of company. Okay? It all depends on what kind of company. I don't have a model answer in that sense because companies vary. That's why the scenario is so different. But generally, I speak generally, you need to do that. Because another failure of startup is execution. So if nobody knows how to manage, execution is a problem. Okay? Execution. Your idea might be very good, but cannot execute. And execution means the operation of it. And that comes from management. How you manage the team to execute the plan according to what you all agreed to. Okay? So bear that in mind. So I can't give you a model answer because I don't know what you're doing. If I know exactly what you're doing, I can tell you what is important first. Priorities. Because resources are limited. Priority very important. Okay? Okay, let's see whether
There is a question from online. How do I manage the team to work when they're busy with their own work, such as schoolwork, and they are a good friend of mine?
You see, just now I say responsibilities, commitment, etc. I listed it all out. Bear that in mind when you invite people to join you, talk to them about all this. As students, no way you are going to escape your homework or your tutorial or your lecture. You need to account for, right? So all must have an understanding. Even if I'm very busy, I have a schedule to keep to. Means at night I work. Okay? And I need to, you must learn to be a man of words or woman of words. You say it, you do it. And that's part of character building. Okay? So don't make promises lightly. Be a man or woman of words. That means I say I do it, I'll do it. Then you become a suitable character for any job. And even for your family. Okay? Your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend will trust you. Right? So this is a character thing. So you say, how to tell my friend? Very difficult to tell. Maybe get somebody to tell. Okay? Or keep talking about the problem. Let them own it up. Sorry, I really can't do it. I cannot manage it. Maybe I should step down. Okay? Let other people try. So there are many ways to solve it. I don't have a model answer in that sense. To solve human problems, you need to be able to sense all the things. Okay? So easy for me to use words and say, you do it this way. But much harder to be in the situation and move correctly with wisdom. Okay? Next question. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so
All
much.
the best.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you so much.